Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Tuesday, the 13th of April 2021. 13th of April here in Thailand is a special day. It's our New Year's Day, traditional New Year's Day. So, for anyone that is listening in Thailand, sorry, that's Happy New Year. Not quite as happy as the past. This year and last year, of course, our traditional water chucking traditions have been cancelled, although the government is apparently allowing the more traditional kind of water pouring over monks, much more subdued kind of ceremony. But even that, I don't know if that's going to take part. We are having a bit of an outbreak of COVID-19 here in Thailand. Unfortunately, this time last year we were doing extremely well, keeping number of infections very, very low. And even right up to this point in time, the number of deaths is still rated at below 100 people in total. So that is still good. But in recent days, we've had, very high numbers of infections comparatively for here. In fact, yesterday was the highest ever, almost 1,000 infected. And it's becoming very widespread across the country. Apparently, after a couple of people went on pub crawls, a couple of infected people went on pub crawls and gave it to everybody around. So, it's a terrible situation, of course, for everybody. People want to live their lives, want to get on, and I think some people have unfortunately heard that there's a vaccine available and have started to think, okay, everything's okay now because there's a vaccine. Of course, it doesn't quite work like that. You need enough people inoculated first, and in Thailand that's a tiny number that have so far been inoculated, and plans are very slow moving, so let's hope that things can go a bit faster. In other news, in that even crazier place than Thailand is the US, of course, where yet another black man has been shot after a traffic stop. Why do they keep putting so much effort into traffic stops? Give it up, man, give it up. And apparently the person who fired the gun, police officer, a woman I believe, thought she was firing a taser. So that must mean then that tasers are, I've never seen a taser, but it must mean that they are the same shape, weight as a gun. Why would you make it like that? Surely it would be common sense to shape it and make it look like something different from a gun, right? So that people know if they're likely to be shot or tasered, and the person firing the thing couldn't possibly make a mistake. Anyway, Happy New Year. Normally we're really happy in Thailand. This is the happiest country on the planet. And so let's try and get back to some of that. Let's get back on with our Sudoku and provide us with some serenity and happiness and peace for New Year. Today's Sudoku is given as medium level puzzle. I shall explain the rules of Sudoku for any beginners just joining us. Here we have a large grid. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 squares along there, and 1, 2, 3, it's 9 down there. I'm not going to count them. And you need the numbers 1 to 9 in each of these rows, and the numbers 1 to 9 in each of these columns. And in these boxes outlined in black, you need the numbers 1 to 9. You can see, of course, the number can't be repeated within its row, column, or box. Can only appear one time because there are only 9 squares. So, sounds simple, and it is simple. It's a simple idea. It's a beautiful idea, and that involves logic, not mathematics. And so how do we find numbers? Well, generally we look for things that are easy to see. For example, there are quite a few 7s on the board here. So we can notice that there's a 7 in this column here, and that means 7 can't appear again in this column. So the whole of this column is blocked. And there's a 7 in this row, and the whole of this row is blocked, and that row is blocked. So if you consider blocked, blocked, and blocked in this box here, right? Blocked, blocked, blocked. There's only one place where we can fit the 7, so we can write in the number 7, and now we have one fewer squares, in this block, and one fewer square in this column and this row to fill in. So we are reducing the number of available places. that's how it works. Just jumping forward a little bit, something just hits me immediately. Well, all right, let's do the easier one first. 6 and 6 here, 6 in this column, 6 in this column, and there's these two squares are already filled in, right? So there's only this space here in this segment. You can kind of imagine like a diagonal line looking across, something like that. 6 can't appear down here, can't appear down here, so it has to appear down here. That's the easiest one to see. I see something that's slightly more difficult, but not really difficult, so I'd like to show it to you. We know that this 4 here is going to block this square here, right? Oh, never mind. Cancel that thought. Never mind. That's just going to turn out to be something not particularly profitable, so let's just ignore it for now. 8 across this row, 8 across this row. There we go. Blocked and blocked. We'll put the 8 in here. This row here doesn't yet have a 2, right? We're missing 1 and 2, and in fact we can find both of those numbers very quickly. I'll show you the 2 first, and then I'll show you the 1, and then I'll fill them both in, right? So first of all, you'll notice 2 is already in this box here, meaning that it can't appear in any other square in this box, so there's no 2 here. There is a 2 intersecting with this square here, right, like this. So a 2 can't go there. So that would leave only that square there to be a 2. Do you agree? So that's going to be a 2. Also, we notice that we don't have a 1 in this row yet, and there is a 1 already in this box. So that blocks this square and this square. So that's got to be our 1. So you see that's a 1. That's our 2. And now there is only one number left in this row. And if we count through, we'll find it's a 4. 1, 2, 3. We don't have a 4. So there we go. We can fill it in. That will save time from what I was going to do before. Okay, looking good. So we just kind of, my idea, my way of doing Sudoku, my most pleasurable way is just to look around and see what hits me. Many people are. Yesterday I did one that was a kind of walkthrough on numbers 1, 2, 3, but today I'm going back to my normal method. So 2 is blocking down this column, 2 is blocking down this column, 2 blocks across here, 2 blocks across here. So that's our 2 in that position there. Okay, I am going to do something which is a bit more for our advanced or slightly advanced medium level players. I'm going to tell you that a 5 must appear here. A 5 must appear here. And I want you to concentrate on number 5 and see if you can work out why. In particular, look at this chute, right? When we have 3 blocks in a row, this way down like this, okay, we call it a chute. C-H-U-T-E, like a rubbish chute is the only chute I can think of, a fireman's chute maybe. Just let's look at the 5s and consider the 5s, okay, and see what you can see. Well, in this column we don't yet have a 5, right? It's one of the missing numbers, and first up we can see that 5 is going to be banned from this square because of 5 here. So that would leave this square and this square, right? Well, look over here on this side here, which is connected in some way, right? And you'll notice that there's a 5 blocking down here, right? So this square and this square can't be 5, and we already know that this 5 blocks right along this row. So in fact, we are blocking here and blocking here. So there will be a 5 either here or here. We don't know where yet, but it's one of those. And when it does, it will come across and it will block this square. So this 5 blocks here, and the eventual 5 will block here. So 5 has to go there. So if you're new to Sudoku, just a very beginner, as a beginner player, you'll need to understand this kind of concept. to go forward. And now that we've done that, we can see that we don't yet have a 6 in this column, and 6 is blocking here. So we can fill in the 6 here, and then we count through and find the last number. We'll find it's a 4. 1, 2, 3, no 4 yet. So the 4 goes there. If you are a beginner player, I sometimes recommend that you count through and make sure all of the numbers are right, you know, just to double check your work, because it's so easy to make mistakes when you are just starting. Even as an advanced player, it's possible to make mistakes. So it is useful as a beginner especially to kind of double check your work, I think. It's very, I just heard the sound of a vehicle driving past. It's very quiet outside because, of course, it is a national holiday, public holiday. In normal years, you wouldn't hardly be able to do this because the music would be so loud. And maybe we'll have some later on. Let's see how it pans out. Right, back to our Sudoku puzzle. And now that we have a 4 blocking here and a 4 blocking here, we can see that 4 has to fit in that square there. We have our 1 blocking this square here, so 1 has to appear here, and we can count through and find the last number. And when we do, we'll find it's a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No 7 yet, so 7 goes there. And now that we filled in that 7, we can see a 7 in this row, 7 in this row, and a 7 in this column. So 7 goes up here. And the 6 across here and the 6 across here gives us that space there for a 6. When you see 2 squares like this, normally a good idea to find out what the missing numbers are, but in this case it's 1 and 5, and that doesn't help us just yet because we don't know which is which. We know it's 1 and 5, but we don't know anything else. We do also know that 1 and 5 will appear in these 2 squares, right? Because 1 and 5 here, and we also have 1 and 5 down here, so 1 and 5 will appear in here and here. So maybe it will help us just to double check what other numbers are missing. So 1, 2, 3, no, so 3 has got to appear here, hasn't it now? Okay. We know that these are 1 and 5. Okay, is that clear? 1 and 5. Look, 1 and 5 block along here, and 1 and 5 block down here. So these 2 squares are 1 and 5. So we can count through 1, 2, 3 we don't have yet, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 3 and 9 are the missing squares for here, and missing numbers for here and here, 3 and 9. But 3 blocks here. So we can see that 3 has to go there and 9 has to go there. And now that we've done that, we can see 9 blocking down here and 9 blocking along here, or you can see 9 blocking along here and 9 blocking along here, and so that has to be a 9. If this seems a bit fast for you because you are very new to Sudoku, just stop and go back a bit and think about it. Okay, just look at it and think about it, and you'll see the logic is there, believe me. So 8 blocking here, 8 blocking here, and or just count through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's our 8 to fill in there. It's really not that difficult once you see that there's a 1 and 5 here and a 1 and 5 here, meaning these 2 squares are blocked, meaning 1 and 5 has to appear in those 2 squares. Once you understand that, I think you'll get it. Okay, but as a beginner, sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to see. So we know 1 and 5 are here. 1, 2, 3 we don't have yet, so 3 is our missing number here. 4, 5 we know is here. 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's our 3. So we can fill in 3. Of course, the other way of doing it is you could have just worked out the missing numbers here, 1 and 5, or counted through here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, like that. All right. Let's move to another part of the puzzle, because basically I think I'm not going to get too much joy from what we have there. We've just done that to death now. So what else do we see? sure which is the most fruitful area to look at. Probably the middle section, because I'm seeing up in the top region here. I mean, I'm spotting a lot of pairs, but nothing quite definitive yet. Maybe I should look. 5 down there. Nope. Okay. It's not that I think this is going to be particularly difficult, it's just that it's going to take a reasonable amount of work, which is good, and that will bring it up to the level of medium then in that case. The Guardian often overestimates its level of difficulty, I think is probably believed by many of us who played that particular puzzle. Okay, I'm going to have to get on and start looking for pairs and candidates and stuff, because I'm not making much progress here. I can see quite a few pairs, and so maybe we should get on and fill in some candidates. And I'm going to do this middle section here. Alright, so what's missing? 1, 2, 3 is blocking here. Oh, look, there we are. Staring me in the face. 3 blocking along here, 3 down there. Sorry, that's 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 5 and 9 missing here, but we have a blocking 5 here, so that's our 5, and that's our 9. Okay. Missing in this section are so we have a 1, we don't have a 2, 3, 4, we don't have 5, and we don't have 7. So I think that's 2, 5, and 7. 2, 5, 7. Yeah, 2, 5, 7 in these 3 squares at the top. Okay, so we'll focus. Let's just explain a bit more clearly. This column has 3 squares left, and there are 3 numbers that we don't yet have in this column. They are 2, 5, and 7. 2, 5, 7. But in this row, we have a 5 and a 7 already. So this can be neither 5 nor 7, and so has to be 2, because that's the only one that's left. Right? And then we know that 5 and 7 will be in these 2 remaining squares, but we can't tell which ones just yet. Right, now we can see we don't yet have a 3 in this column, but we have 3 blocking here, 3 blocking here, and a 3 blocking here, so that has to be a 3 up there. And we'll continue with those 3s, because I notice that there's a 3 here blocking this square, and we don't yet have a 3 in this row, right? This 3 blocks here. There's nothing to block here, that's just that 1 square that's left. So 3 has to go there. Usually it's a good idea to count through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're missing 8 and 9 in these 2 squares, 8 and 9. And clearly a 9 can't appear here, so 9's got to go there. And clearly an 8 can't appear here, so 8 has to go there. So it's pretty obvious on both sides. Okay. Right, where to go next? There's only 1 number missing in this column now, so we should find it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We don't have an 8. That's got to be our 8, and that will give us our next 8, because 8 blocking this column, 8 blocking this column, and 8 blocking this row means an 8 must appear there. Let's see, 2 numbers missing from this column. What are they? 1, 2, 3. We don't yet have a 4. 5, 6. We don't yet have a 7, so 4 and 7 are missing in this column. Well, we've got 7 here and 7 here, so both of these actually blocking this square from being a 7. So that's our 7 and that's our 4. We see this 4 now blocks across this row here. You know, keep moving, swinging backwards and forwards, right and left, up and down, in any direction when you are looking for numbers. Don't just get stuck in one small targeted area. Look widely is my advice. to go next? I'm not sure about this particular column, but I think, let's see, we don't have 1 and we don't have a 9, I believe. We're missing 1 and 9 in this column, but look, here's a blocking 9, so 9 will be that square and that one will be 1. Now we've done that, the 1 blocks across here, 1 is there, 1 blocks down here. Remember these were 1 and 5, do you remember? Did that stick in your mind that we had 1 and 5 missing here and 1 and 5 missing here? Okay. And now that we've done the 5, we know that that's got to be a 5 there. And this is our 6 now, the last number in this segment. Last number up here is 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have a 4 yet, so 4 goes there. Last number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goes there. Here 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have 5 or 7, but 7 blocks here, so that's a 7, that's a 5. Back across here, 1. Can we get anything here? 2, can we tell? Not quite. 3, no. 4, yes. 4 blocks this column here and 4 blocks along here, so that's our 4. Let's count through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 missing here. Missing numbers there are 2 and 5, but we don't know yet which is which, so we'll just hold off on that. Let's look down here now, what numbers are missing in this segment here. 2, can we tell 2? No, it's there or there. 3, oh sorry, 1 is there or there. 2, no, we don't know. 3, 4, 5, 6. Can we tell 6? 6 blocks along here and 6 blocks down there, so yes, that's our 6. Now we look at this row here and find that 1 is our missing number, and down here we see the 1 very close to this square. Remember our 1 and 5, so we fill in 5 there. This 5 blocks that square there now, so 5 is there. The missing number here is 2 now. Bring that 2 down. 2 is there. 1 number left to get, that's 9. Our medium level puzzle. I'm not sure if that was a medium or an easy level. I didn't use any candidates, so when I don't use any pencil marks, I tend to mark that as an easy level puzzle, but I did use some slightly more, just a teensy bit more sophisticated logic than normal for easy level puzzles, so maybe it's the upper end of easy, let's say. Please subscribe to this channel, and particularly if you are Thai, I've got some Thai language videos coming up soon, as well as some other videos which are Sudoku related, and hopefully will be fun. So Happy New Year from Thailand. Enjoy yourself if you are in Thailand with a 3-day holiday, or more. I think it's 5 days actually. Have a good time, and wherever you are in the world, I wish you well, wish you peace and happiness. Thank you. Bye bye.